What's up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come talk some NBA Finals with us.
I mean, how silly is that, man? We're talking about practice.
The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl champions. Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of A2D Wednesday. I forgot what show is on. Later in the show, we'll go over maybe some Eagles talk if we have some time. Phillies lose a tough game today in Toronto. We'll talk about the latest Sixers rumors around the number 3 pick. But tonight's show is going to be about the NBA Finals previews and predictions as we look ahead to the Thunder taking on the Pacers. As always, Ryan Elizik below, Luke Brown, Tom Arnone will be joining us here in a couple minutes. I'm Greg Milakvic. Every Wednesday night, we are brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. You can find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tell the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal, that the boys at A2D sent you. He'll hook you up and get you taken care of with any of your physical therapy needs. Well, boys, we're here. We are finally here. The NBA Finals is upon us. 2 young, right? Upstart, mid-major, mid-market teams are in the finals. And that leads us right into our poll question. The Thunder will defeat the Pacers to become the 2025 NBA champions. Do you agree, disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, that's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, you can find us there. Chime into the chat. Let us know. And as always, share the show. Tell somebody to jump in and join the conversation. Gentlemen, I'm going to disagree. I'm going to go Pacers here.
Wow.
It's a little bit of bias pick. It's a little bit of a bias pick, right? I'm going to be flat out honest with you. I don't want the team that the Sixers are supposed to be to win the championship before us, right? Complete honesty there. The Sixers should be the Oklahoma City Thunder, right? Had the NBA not got involved, had the NBA let the GOAT Hinkie work his magic. That's who the Sixers should be. They're awesome, though. They're awesome. And so, but as Indiana has shown, they're pretty good as well. I wouldn't say Indiana's awesome. They have some awesome players, right? Specifically Tyrese. And Siakam's pretty good. But up and down the board, you can look at OKC and just see how awesome they are. So I understand that I am probably going to be in the minority tonight, and especially on this poll question. But I disagree. I'm going Pacers in 7. We'll get into full predictions later on, but I'm going Pacers in 7. They're going to win it the way they've won just about everything in dramatic style, right? Clutch finishes, and so I'm going to disagree. What say you boys?
I'll agree. I'll agree to the poll, but I also think it's going to be closer than people expect. I hope it goes 6. I really do think it's going to go 5, but I really hope it goes 6. Their pace alone can definitely win them 1 game because that's just the way that they play. And you saw it even in the Oklahoma City series in the conference finals. Like, they traveled to Minnesota in game 3, and they clearly looked like the better team through 2 games, but they basically took the night off and got destroyed. So I feel like at the very least it's going to go 5 just because the Pacers are too good to get swept. I hope it goes 6, and I think that their pace can get them 2 games for sure.
Yeah, I have to agree. I just have to. The Pacers are a solid team. You know, Tyrese Halliburton has had a really, really good year. I've thought he's been overrated for the last 4 or 5 years, but this year, I think he really stepped up. That being said, the Pacers are deep, or the Thunder are deeper, and they have the league MVP. Right?
Not my MVP.
The NBA is the most star power driven league, bar none. Right? You know, guys can help carry teams in different sports, but not any more than the NBA does. And Shea is just gonna, exactly who's gonna give you every night. He's gonna give you 30 plus. He's gonna be up and down the floor all night. He can do anything. And I think that, Pacers will probably win one game. They'll probably win like game 3 at home. But I don't see OKC dropping more than that. They're so good. And like you said, like they're what the Sixers should be. And I'm so jealous of that. I really am. But they're so good. And I can't see them losing this. It's the easiest degree that I've had since I thought the Eagles were winning the Super Bowl. So
yeah, there you go. Did you guys happen to see the Pacers stats when Caitlin Clark is in? They're undefeated when Caitlin Clark is in the arena for the game.
She's got
a conflict on game 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
She's got a game 6.
Thunder and 6. There you go.
Thunder and 6.
They're gonna move game 6 to a different day.
They're gonna stage a natural disaster or like a
power outage. Yeah.
I do think Shea's criminally underrated, though. Just not obviously he got the MVP, so it's hard to say that. But I think people are hating on him so much. When can we really take a second to think about the season this guy's having? He won the scoring title. He won more than 60 games on his team this regular season. 1 seed, the favorite to win the finals, and he won the MVP. Like, can we talk about that? He ran the league all season. And they're probably going to win the final. Like, we think, obviously Greg disagrees, but they're the heavy favorite to win. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he did. I mean, he put up the MVP race. I think by the end of the year was a lot closer than probably people thought because of how dominant Shea was all year. It's just how good Jokic is and was down the stretch, right? I mean, halfway through the year, I don't think, you probably had him 1-2, but it was probably a marginal lead for Shea. So, yeah, I mean, he's definitely had a monster year. I wonder,
you're talking about one of
the
greatest seasons of all time. Scoring title, MVP, and if he wins the final, he's champion, probably finals MVP
Finals
too.
MVP, most
so,
likely.
That's one of the greatest seasons of all time.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because like you look at what everyone gets on him about, right? Like the foul merchants and going to the free throw line. But our guy in this city does the same thing.
Yeah,
right.
No
and what star doesn't, right? What star doesn't get that treatment? Right.
Yeah.
We watched James Harden, even when he was here and outside, do the same things throughout the year. Now that drove me wild, right? And I still think there's room for the NBA to grow in there, but you can't hate on the kid for doing what every other star in the league does. Whether it's just a matter of whether you like it or it's appeasing to you or not. But yeah, I mean he's definitely been awesome for sure.
No, that's one of those things that like you love it when it's on your team, but you hate it when it's not. Because like the most blatant one in the world to me, and they actually like changed the rule because of this, was Trae Young in the Sixers-Hawks series a couple years ago, where he was literally jumping back into guys and was getting foul calls and go to the free throw line. Obviously, it's not as blatant as that now. But, like, superstars get those calls all day. And it's always been like that. Like, you can go back to, like, the 90s. Like, oh, yeah, the guy's getting hacked. But Jordan got a lot of weak foul calls, right? Like, it's not a new thing that guys get weak foul calls. But, like, if you're one of the better players and your hand gets clipped, you're going to the line. Yeah. It's just how it is, right? Plus, you don't see a whole lot of hard defense anymore, at least not consistently, which is funny because OKC plays phenomenal defense. So I think that's really going to end up pushing them over the edge because again, the Pacers can run and they play decent, but OKC can really lock it down the other side, right? And then they're just going to run it right back down your throats the other way. They're just so long. They're so talented. They're like top to bottom. Both these teams are like really deep, but OKC is just more complete, and I think it's really just going to make a big difference. So,
Poe, what's up, brother? Dales, what up, man? Martian says Thunder in 2. Not sure how that's going to work, but what's up, Martian?
They're going to win the first 2 games by so many, the Pacers just forfeit.
Good. Dales will agree. Marcia says should be 2-time MVP, but they had to give it to Jokic. It's funny too when people talk about having to give things to Jokic and then the guy getting the MVP the next year. Like if you would have just done it the right way at the time, people wouldn't feel that way, right? Because we talk about that with Embiid, right? The year Embiid didn't get it is when he probably deserved it most.
Yeah. Embiid should have won it the year
Same
before.
thing to Shea, right?
Yeah.
And then each time, Jokic doesn't get it, you probably look and go, yeah, maybe Jokic probably should have gotten it this year.
I mean, the fact that Embiid didn't win it the year that he didn't is clueless. Explain that. Like, going into that year, we hadn't seen that level of him yet. Like, we could say what we want, but not Harden, like when Ben was gone, like we had a bunch of questions to be like, all right, this guy's going to have to average 35 and Tyrese Maxey's going to have to take this mega leap. And like it all happened, but it all started with him. Like we didn't expect that going into the year either. It was like, we'll see what he can do. Right. That's when he first showed it too. That was a coming out party.
Yeah, like there were flashes prior to that, but it wasn't.
And Ben Simmons, like the phone in his pocket at practice, and it was like a one thing after another, after another, after another. Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that stuff. That's no fun.
And we literally were just winning games because we had Joel Embiid. That was it. That was it.
Pro agrees. Pretty unstoppable. Thunder. Embiid should. Yeah, there you go. Embiid should be a 2-time MVP too.
He should be.
What's up, Chucks? He says he thinks Thunder will win this series as well. Guys, do you put any stock into the Thunder being too young and not proven yet? But I don't want to say yet, right? Because when you win as many games as you do in a season, but I'm saying playoff-wise, do you put into any stock that now that the lights are the brightest, the veteran nature of the Pacers and the finals comes up to catch them in the ass?
No. Not when the team wins 68 games. I mean, they're just far and away the best team in the league. And it's not even like they can have a day where Chet, who's a guy who's not even close to hitting his ceiling yet, and Jalen Williams, who is another guy that I feel like hasn't really touched that for him yet, they don't have to show up. Because then you have like a guy like Isaiah Joe off your bench who could spot you 2 big threes. Aaron Wiggins can spot you 2 shots. Lou Dort can spot you great defensive possessions. And Alex Caruso can. Isaiah Hartenstein's on the board. Like, they have so many guys.
Yeah.
To where if one of those young guys is a young guy night, unless maybe it's Shea, they're fine. Because they have so many other guys who are just freaking talented.
Yeah. I mean, if they were playing another team who'd been there before, maybe. But, Halliburton, like, again, he's been really, really good, but he hasn't been this deep in the playoffs before, right? I don't really think there's anybody on that Pacers team who's been this deep or has been, like, a big contributor in the finals run previously.
Well, Siakam won one in Toronto.
Yeah, you're right, Siakam. But
and Rick Carlisle has been around forever.
I love Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, he's
good. Because he doesn't even do that. Like, he's not like Mike D'Antoni where you go and it's like, oh, he goes everywhere and plays that pace. It's not really the case.
No, he's normally not this run.
He catered to Luka. He catered to Dirk. And always catered, like, he's proving that he's just a tremendous coach. He does it all with, like, all these different kinds of players.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're absolutely right there. I mean, he has been able to morph year in and year out to fit his team, which goes to show just what of an incredible coach he is.
Yeah.
Because even when he's morphed to those guys, he's never, at least to my knowledge, has never had a team that's ran this much. And it's been this pacey, right? I mean, you're right. That was the perfect name you used, Luke, D'Antoni. This is a D'Antoni type of team, or at least pace. Like when you look at what the Suns were and what they tried to make the Rockets were, right? Up and down all the way. That's usually not Carlisle's style. He's usually more methodical and I guess to that point of the veteranness catching up potentially to the Thunder is where that might come into play. But with those two teams playing the paces that they do, it's pretty crazy. What's up, Tommy?
What's up, boys?
How we doing?
Oh.
We're doing.
Poll question tonight, Tommy. The Thunder will beat the Pacers.
Who cares? Yeah, it's not even close. I mean, you want to try to play the other side, be my gats, but it's not close. This series is not close. This is 5 games, 6 tops, in my opinion. Cinderella run, it ends at some point for Indiana. Great run, awesome story. Right, they're not the best team left standing, and I think at some point that you'll get hit. That's my thought on it. I just don't know how. I don't know how they win this series. You know, OKC is so deep, and they come from so many different angles, and they got the best player on the planet right now. So it's hard to beat that, right? But I guess if there's a scrappy group that could, it would maybe be them. And I know what you're talking about. I think you said something about being too young for the moment.
Yeah.
I agree and disagree with it. They are young, but they've been knocking as a 1 seed for, now 2 years, right? They have playoff experience. They are still young, but I don't know if their best player is young anymore, right? So I think that makes them older, wiser. Halliburton, awesome run. I like Siakam a ton. You guys know that. I would have loved him here in Philly when we talked about that not too long ago. And Miles Turner's a really good big man. So, I mean, they play defense. They get out and run, but so does OKC. So I think they got sort of lucky with New York in the finals, in the Eastern Conference Finals, that is. And why I say that is New York beating Boston, such a monumental win for New York, that I don't want to say a letdown, but when you lose that game 1 like that, that series is over. I think it was hard for New York. I think they obviously, why Tibbs isn't there anymore. They played the most minutes of anybody in the league. And I think when you do that, at some point you get tired legs.
Yeah.
And I think that was the New York Knicks at the end in the Eastern Conference Finals. So, yeah. Okay.
And that's Tibbs' MO too, right? Like,
It's always,
not to switch completely over to that, but that's Tibbs' MO, right? Is run your teams ragged, and then while you might have a good year, you ultimately come up short, right? Just because your guys are dead.
I mean, he killed Derrick Rose, didn't he?
Yeah, well, maybe literally too.
He basically literally killed Derrick Rose. That dude was an absolute monster. When you're playing 40 minutes every single night for 80 games a year, guys can't stand that, man. Like the NBA, like people say baseball's long. The NBA season takes forever.
It does.
Forever. Because you're not playing every day. You're playing, 2-3 games a night. And like the playoffs take 3 months. It's insane.
That's the problem.
Absolute grind.
It's a season, by itself. The playoffs,
yeah,
right. You're right. It's way too long. I know they've had talks with it, but because
it's October to June.
Back in the day, they didn't push the playoffs as far as they did. They condensed things a lot more.
Yeah, and the playoffs dates weren't set, right? Like I think hockey got caught too, and the NBA got caught. Like Game 1 was always going to be June 5th, right? And so when you have 2 series end quick,
right.
Now you get a whole week of
you're sitting there
nothing where you could shave off a couple days of the season. But yeah, man, it's October. It used to be November. Now it's late October through June.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's crazy how long it is.
It's also like I don't need to see the Thunder beat the shit out of the Grizzlies 4 times to know that they're going to win that. I don't need that. All right. We don't need to play 7-game series in the first round. And that might be unfair for the 4-5 matchup. I understand that argument. That's probably why it'll never change. But I feel like it'll make a huge difference in saying, all right, that Thunder series could have ended 4 days ago if we just decided, hey, this is a best of 5. They won every game by 40. I mean, it's a joke. The talent gap between 1 and 8 now is insane. There's no need to play a best of 7. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and then you got those extra couple days too with the play-ins, right? Like those, say whatever team that is the 9 seed, right? Whoever the 9 seed is, they win their 1 game, then they win their 2nd game. They're already 84 games in before they go to the playoffs. right? I know, again, 1 or 2 extra games doesn't make that whole much of a difference, but that's another 5 days, 6 days that you're pushing the next series back, right? Again, I know these guys want to see, as much competitive basketball as possible. Plus, you got like the in-season tournament stuff now. Like, the NBA wants to make all of these games more and more competitive. They want everybody watching all the time. But it's so much. It's so much. Like, there's a reason why baseball's viewership has dropped down, because most people can't pay attention every single night. The NBA is doing the same thing. Like, their viewership's dropping. It might not be to the same extent, but it's similar at the very least. So
Devon chimes in. He says, my Patriots haven't lost 2 games in a row since early March in the regular
I
season.
mean, yeah, since the All-Star break, these are by far the 2 best teams in the league.
Yeah, listen, I don't think you should change 82 because you make it,
Yeah.
just back to that conversation, you make records weird. You make everything becomes weird, right? Your Hall of Fame voting, so much stuff changes when you do it that way. But you got to figure something out, right? In terms of making it as long as it is, not in terms of playing as many games. That's just basketball, right? These guys aren't playing 7 days a week. But, I think, like you guys said, maybe make it five, and maybe, make the Eastern Conference Finals.
That'd be massive for Joel Embiid.
I don't know what else. I don't know what else you do. There's really not many. There's not many options unless you trim games off the regular season, which I think is just a little bit of a slippery slope.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I don't think necessarily you have to cut into the regular season, but you have to tighten it up, the time frame somehow. Whatever way they're going to do it, like.
But you remember they remade that adjustment to cut down the back-to-backs, right? Like, what was it, 5 to 8 years ago, somewhere in that range? They readjusted their schedule to allow for more days so they can allow for more off days.
I'm fine with that because honestly, I feel like ever since they did that, it's hard to say as a Sixers fan, but trust me, everywhere else, guys don't really skip the games anymore for the most part. I don't want to speak for everybody. For the most part, I feel like that's improved a lot since they made that rule change.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah,
it definitely has. It's just it's weird.
Now you just get mostly back-to-backs, right? Someone on a back-to-back's not playing of that high-profile nature, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. For the most part, it has brought back some of the normalcy of the regular season and playing throughout it.
Yeah, it is what it is. The product, but again, like we said, it's too long.
KZ might be going a little nuts. He said you guys might start the playoffs with a best of 3 and increase the number each round. So what, 3, 4, 5?
I don't know about 3.
Yeah, I think 3's probably a little light. You could probably go 5 and 5 for the first 2 rounds, and then 7-7 for the next 2.
5, yeah. I feel like
that's what I would be. I'm down with. They would never do that though.
No, there's no way.
Baseball used to do that. Baseball used to have
really
5-game series.
Yeah, they should do that.
The NLDS is still 5. Yeah, the DS is still 5.
Yes, the DS.
The wild card's 3.
It's 3, 5, 7,
7. Yeah. If they did that, I wouldn't be upset about it. Like, they'll never do 3. They probably won't ever go back to 5, regardless, just because of the money aspect of it. But like you said, you don't need to see OKC absolutely kick the shit out of whoever the 8 seed is by 40 points every night.
And then the joke of it is that you have a playing game to get that ass kicking, and then if you lose the game, then you get Cooper Flag.
Then you get the number 1 pick.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't want to talk about that either because I'm going to be pissed off. But whatever.
It
happened in the East too. I think Cleveland just boat raced Miami.
Yeah,
that game was 40 points at halftime in Game 4. Like,
ridiculous.
Shouldn't even play in the second half. Just end the game, refund all the money.
GG, go next. Hey, give up the sticks. You're down 21. Pass it over.
Yeah.
The only people that are going to be pissed if they get rid of the play-in are like Bulls and Hawks fans because it's like their Super Bowl every year. Like that is it. Like they're making that like a bowl game for them for those 2 teams every year. They're always in it.
Back to the finals matchup. What What's a key internal matchup that you guys see, either player wise or stat wise or rebounding, shooting, whatever? What do you think is the X factor for the Thunder or the Pacers?
Lou Dort, because Mikal Bridges tried to speed up Halliburton. Like people think okay, we have to slow them down, so let me pick them up full court. A lot of times, if you don't make it to the inbounder quick enough, that's only going to speed them up even more. So I feel like Lou Dort's a guy where he can kind of hedge him, and then right at half court, he can be like, all right, now I'm going to force you to play half court basketball. And I also think if he tried to keep up with him, he's one of very, very, very few players in the entire league that can keep up with him. And then on the other end, when they come off the bench with TJ, the Thunder have quickness too with Caruso. So it kind of feels like whoever wins, it sounds obvious because he's the best player on the other team. But if Tyrese Halliburton can cook Lou Dort, that's the only chance they really have. And I don't really see that happening.
Yeah, minus 700. I don't know how the Pacers win this series, so we can keep, I can keep trying to figure out ways, but I don't.
Is that what the Thunder are right now? Minus 700.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's Halliburton has to be Halliburton has to be the Raptors' Kawhi for them to win this series.
Yeah.
He has to be absolutely insane on both ends of the floor, and they have to play incredible defense on Shea. If TJ McConnell picks up Shea the entire series from front court all the way through, and he gets 6 steals a game, maybe the Pacers have a shot. But realistically,
that's what Brinks is banking on.
Yeah, they need Halliburton to go for 35, 40 a night.
But he's not that guy though. So he goes nights where he shoots the ball 6 times. And that's fine, but he's not going to be able to do that against them.
He still has some pass first point guard in
right? Because normally what the Pacers have banked on this entire time is we are going to outrun you, and there's nothing you can do about it. And the Thunder are all right, we can outrun you too. We can play this game, and then when it becomes a close game, fourth quarter, I'll go to the free throw line, I'll slow it down, I'll get back to my pace, and SGA is going to take over every single time. That's pretty much the script for every single game of the series.
Yeah, X factor for Pacers is probably Miles Turner. X factor for Oklahoma City is everybody not named SGA. And that's why they're minus 700.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to downplay. I'm not trying to downplay Indiana here, because this is a tremendous run. And the one fan said, they've been doing this since March, right? So this has been a long time. This is sustained. They're just a really good basketball team, and they're extremely well coached. We know that about Ricky. So, again, I keep trying to find ways for them. Halliburton's got to go off. It's got to be an MJ series, right? Or somebody else has to. Siakam's not really got to go off. He's a guy to give you 25, 30 on a big night for him, right? He's not a guy to necessarily go for 45. So who is it? Who's, and you said X Factor, who's the guy that can do that or pick up that slack on a given night here throughout this series? I don't know.
Yeah, and Indiana might not have it, right? It just might have to be they have to get defensively to, like you said, shut Shea down, make somebody else on OKC beat you. But
that's the problem.
They have enough guys.
Good luck.
You think nobody else? We think nobody else has tried that.
Yeah.
Right, and it doesn't necessarily work out for them.
Yeah, and I think the other side of it too is, like you said, Luke, they have a couple guys that they can throw at Tyrese, right? Whether it's Dort and they can come with Caruso, and it's not like you're losing anything when you go to that, right? Like Caruso comes off and he's just as defensive minded as Dort is. And he's just as much of a pit bull as what we like in TJ, right? Us, as Sixers fans, love TJ, and that's what Caruso does for OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Just all around, OKC they just have too much. I find it very hard to believe that they're gonna if this series even goes 6. I think it's probably 5. They probably sneak one out, gentleman's sweep, but they're just too deep. Crazy.
Devon said somebody knew every night for him.
I mean, they have a ton of depth too. They're probably the second deepest team in the league. The problem is that the depth on the Thunder, their guys are just better slightly. It's crazy. They're probably a carbon copy of each other. But what they have is a half-court player. And I doubt Siakam outscores SGA in a half-court environment at the end of a game. I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be what Siakam or Nebhard has got to be that next main factor for Indiana for them to have a. And you figure Siakam's going to be there most nights, right? So if you go back to that third person, you're into that Nebhard, Neesmith range, right? One of those guys. Miles Turner, as you mentioned, Tommy, right?
Maybe Toppin off the bench.
Maybe Toppin, right? That's that third tier for the Pacers. And yeah, I mean, are you confident that they can do that every night, right? I don't think Nebhard really had the series outside of game 1. All right, Nebhard was unconscious.
He could not make a shot. He was good defensively.
He couldn't make another one, right?
Yeah, he was pretty. He held his own defensively, but he could not make a shot towards the end of that series. And neither could Neesmith. And that's the point. Like, they just get up easy shots. So, like, you don't really have to have a guy like Kevin Durant or someone to break you down the half court. But you do at the end of a game in the NBA Finals, you do. So this is where it's a little different. But they put up a ton of easy shots.
I'm just going through box scores from the Pacers-Knicks series. And I'm like, if they get 30 from Siakam and Halliburton, then, like, they're putting up 130 points, 125 points. But, like, it's going to be difficult for them to do that every single game, right? And then they are going to have to put up 120 plus in order to be able to have a chance to win these games, because OKC is going to, right? Like, you have to be able to score with them. And OKC plays, like, phenomenal defense. Not to say that the Pacers can't, right? But most of those games, like in those lower scoring games, the Pacers usually lose out because Halliburton's not put up enough shots or Siakam's not scoring or whatever it is. So,
and when you're talking about a big transition team, transition is based off of missed shots and turnovers.
Yeah.
Oklahoma
City, they run quick anyway, but to your point, like Oklahoma City plays that way too.
Yeah. So, but again, I think Oklahoma City can break it down better in the half court. So
there's no question.
So when the game does slow down, I think they give advantage OKC again. How much running can you do? Really run if guys aren't really missing shots.
Yeah.
It's going to be difficult.
I mean, I don't like the take of like Embiid being healthy and we would have beaten that Pacers team. No chance. Embiid would have passed out at the thought of playing a 7-game series against that team. There's no chance we would have won 4 games against that team in a 7-game series. I'm sorry. That's the reality.
Miles Turner 40 a night.
Talk about a bad matchup. That is awful for us.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a bad matchup.
Everything's awful for us, right?
I mean, yeah, but like when you got a chance to get faster and more athletic, like why would you do that? You know, why would you want to do that?
No, man, we got to get these 37-year-old guys who were in the finals one time, like 10 years ago.
Eric Gordon.
Thank you. Exactly.
That felt like one of those moves where you're like, we've been calling for this guy for 5 years.
Yeah, this would have been sick 5 years ago.
We just got to finally check this off the checklist, right? Yes, we finally signed Eric Gordon. PJ Tucker, same thing, right? Was it just a super popular name for a couple years, and then finally we get him. We don't know what to do with him, and we don't have the team that fits him best, right? You know?
Yeah, like Maury's going through WIP callers, like phone calls from 2020. Hey, we need this guy. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's go get him. He's free. He's cheap.
Cotton Ball. What's up, Cotton Ball? I know we haven't seen in a while. He's an X Factor OKC is Kendrick Williams. He played a major part in the Minnesota series.
I don't know about all that. That's a crazy call out. I'm not gonna lie. If Kendrick Williams has to decide the series, I like the Pacers odds. I don't know.
Maybe Pacers are on something.
That's just me. I don't know.
Your face reading that.
You.
Your face reading that was the classic.
Yeah. I had to double take. I'm like, who the hell is he saying? I know he is.
I'll double take this one too. In 90s Rockets, stop it. I mean, that's Clyde the Glide. That's Akeem. You can't compare him to
Kenny Smith.
Rockets. But you don't got to go Kenny Smith. I can just start with Akeem Olajuwon. They don't have Akeem.
Yeah, right. Miles Turner's not Akeem.
no Akeem there. Last time I missed. Last time I checked, I mean. So listen, they're a good basketball team. They're just playing a great one, in my opinion, and one that's been knocking on heaven's door a little bit here for the last few years. And I think when you have a team that I'm not saying knocking on a championship, but they've been knocking on as the best team in the West.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think when you get there and you get smacked around a little bit and you don't get over the hump, at some point you do. Where Indiana, right? It's a great story and it's a great documentary down the line or something, right? Like, oh, look at this run. It's like the 2001 Sixers. Okay. But they're better, right? Is that fair to say? Like they're better because they're deeper than the Sixers were. But the problem is, again, we keep circling back. They're not as deep as the team they're playing. And in my opinion, when you get to this point of the year, the best player on the court usually hoists the trophy. And the best player on the court isn't up for debate. It's not up for debate. I don't give a shit about Tyrese Halliburton. It is not up for debate. If you're a real basketball person and you watch it enough, it's not close.
Oh, yeah.
It's not close. So, again, not a shot at the kid. Good player. Good player. He's a good player. Some nights he's a great player. Fair? Some nights he's a great player. Most nights he's a good one or a really good one. That's how I look at him as an overall player. Nothing wrong with that. I'll take him. I'll take him yesterday.
Yeah.
But that's what he is. And that's all right. Siakam, same thing. Really good player. Miles Turner, really good player. Really good players. Ain't a star. Ain't nobody there a star. Or I should say a superstar. They don't have a superstar. Other team does. They're not as deep, Devon. I mean, take the poster of Larry Bird down, baby. They ain't as deep. You guys are not as deep. Come on.
I think what he's trying to say is that the Thunder have 10 guys who are good, and the Pacers have 10 guys who are good, which is true, but the Thunder's 10 guys are better, and that's undisputed. You can't debate that.
And it's not as deep.
Isaiah Joe played.
Right. Isaiah Joe played. Well, he's the fan of the other team. So if I was on here, I'd be like, "Fuck you!" Like, where's deep too? I get it. I get where he's coming from.
You're right. You're 11 deep. I don't want to take anything away from you guys. I want to keep making this clear. I'm not. And can they win the series? Of course. It's sports, right? They tie their shoes the same way, and this is the last two teams standing. So nobody on here doesn't want to give them a shot. Vegas answered that for us. So it ain't like me making this something up. I don't even need to know the players. When I see minus 700 in the NBA Finals, I think they tell us where this is at. And again, they can be wrong. And a lot of people on Indiana's side that are throwing some fazools around are going to make a lot of money. And that's awesome for you guys. Like I don't have a rooting interest in this. As long as there was no Knicks in Boston, I'm good. You guys took care of everything we needed taken care of in Philadelphia, so we appreciate you. Knicks got their trophy. They got their trophy, their semifinal trophy by beating Boston. And, Boston I'm seeing them lose. But that was
Yeah.
tough. That was like rooting wise. Like I didn't know who to root for. And then it was easy Eastern Conference Finals. Hey, we're huge Indiana guys, rightfully so. And now it just doesn't matter to any of us. I'm a huge SGA guy, so I mean, I side over that way a little bit, but I don't care who wins. I said it to start the poll question. I don't care. Who cares? Like I don't care. I don't have any rooting interests, which is nice sometimes. But I might have to throw some money around now to get a rooting interest.
To create
who am I throwing money around? Going minus 700.
Yeah.
There's nothing to be made out of it.
What's Shea to win MVP, Finals MVP? Probably like minus 400 or something.
If he's heavy minus, then this is a wrap.
He's got to be like minus 3.
Wrap. He's over minus 200. This series is a wrap. Right now, we didn't play a game yet.
Let's see. Where's it at?
He's got to be heavy. He's by far the favorite. I just want to know how much of a favorite he is.
Yeah,
I'll find it.
If he's over,
I'm looking for it.
I should say. If he's over 350.
No.
Hard Rock bets make it difficult for me to find. They're all worried about game 1.
Futures champion. No,
We got overtime in game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals, though.
not quite. There's 14 seconds left. I got it on.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
It's overtime.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah. Edmonton jumped
Dylan
up quick.
Harper is minus 4,000 to go number 2. That's all I'm seeing right now. I'm trying to find this too.
That's fun.
Series leader total points.
Why is this not?
SGA is minus 3,500 for total points leader.
Oh my god!
I mean, he's having. I mean, you can refute this. Maybe you know better, Tom. I brought it up earlier. I'm trying to think of a guy who's had a more impressive season in my lifetime. You're talking
Series
scoring
player,
champion, regular season MVP, won 68 games, walking through the playoff. I mean, he played a game 7, but
MJ.
outside of that series,
That's it. It's MJ.
it's unbelievable. It's
the MJ.
unreal.
It's the MJ.
And he's got to win it
title.
first.
Yeah, it's MJ scoring title.
Oh,
MVP.
he's minus 600. I
There
think
it
he's
is.
minus
Oh my
600.
god!
Minus 600.
Minus
This is
600.
done.
Tyrese is plus 700.
Oh my god!
plus
This is
750
everything
on
you need
draft.
to know. They
Yeah.
literally said, "Hey, Indiana fans, just don't even turn it on. You might steal a game."
Minus 600. Tyrese plus 700. Siakam plus 16. And then Jalen Williams is plus 3,000.
Lord.
Chet's at plus 7,500. And then everybody else is 20,000.
That's wild. Wild. Absolutely wild.
Throw $1 on Lou Dort.
Yeah.
Why not?
250. Yeah, $1
Yeah.
to win 250.
You can get like an Iguodala type award.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, why not?
Shut down. Shut down.
Shut down Hallie. Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
oh, there it is.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Next thing
You
you'll
know,
get
We'll make it $3.
God, who was the guy on First Take?
No.
Not Stephen A. Who was the white
Perkins?
guy? No, the
Mad
white
Dog.
guy. No, like a while ago. He's
Max Kellerman.
Yeah, he's the I want Iguodala taking the last shot guy.
Yeah.
You know, like I want Lou Dort on my team. I want him. Like, yeah, sure did.
Max is good when he did boxing.
I would kill for Lou Dort on
I mean,
our team.
he's phenomenal. He was insane. He's a phenomenal defender. I love it.
Oh yeah, I'll freaking blow a guy behind a dumpster. I mean, I'll do some things that I will regret later for just some talent. You know what I mean? Like when I'm talking
Someone
about,
clip that one.
You would
Someone
say,
clip
"Oh,
that.
Tom, you talking about you would do that for SGA?" Oh, then if I'm telling you I'll do that for Dort, what do you think I'll do for SGA? Right? Ooh.
Gonna go hang out at a truck stop for a while, Tom.
I might sell body parts, whatever you want. You need something? Goodness gracious, that's how much we're dying for an impact guy.
Yeah, that's for sure.
We're just,
For sure.
Tom's over here behind the 7-Eleven. If you need them. Paging GM.
God.
Paging GMs like to get frisky on a Friday.
God.
We are here.
Yeah, KZ got the quote that I just mentioned. Yeah, there it is. That's
Yeah, what a quote that was over Steph
Phenomenal.
Curry. What a wild thing to
phenomenal.
say.
That's awesome.
Created a character. That ESPN created a character. Max is really good at boxing.
He is. He's
Yeah.
very
really good at
boxer.
boxing.
But he was funny. Like was he on after Skip left? I forget.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I remember he used to be like so anti Carson Wentz before anyone was. And then when he sucked, he pointed the finger at everybody.
Yeah, he was Team Carson.
He was anti Carson. He was Hurts. He was Hurts all over.
Oh, he
Hurts.
was. You're right.
Yeah.
Right. He was Hurts. He was deep into it.
Yeah.
Nah, like the story. It was story. I don't see how this goes together. I don't. Maybe I'm forgetting something. You gotta enlighten me here.
What, like in the filling in between dynasties thing? Is that what we're talking about here? Or like it was just open because 95 Jordan wasn't there, right? 94, 95 he wasn't there. Is that what we're talking about? And then he came back and it was over again.
Yeah, but the difference is that they're not going to win it. So it's not it's not really the same story.
Yeah, a way different story. A way different story.
Yeah.
This ain't MJ going and playing baseball. Like SGA ain't going to decide to go play baseball right now. So,
but that Halliburton choke thing is going to be that'll be around for eternity in Indiana.
Yeah, I mean they'll get their own 30 for 30, just like
cool.
the Pacers did, when they beat the Knicks in the Garden.
I mean, Trey Turner got a Netflix series for getting an ovation on like a Tuesday night. So clearly you can get a doc for anything.
Oh yeah, you can get
yeah.
But no, I mean, listen, like I said, you asked for a season and I'll give you MJ, right? Because that's how far back I think it goes, Luke, to that point, right? And there's probably guys I'm just missing, but you want to talk about an MVP, scoring champ, defensive player of the year. I mean, they're the kind of thing like years like MJ was having. So you could, which is even somehow better than SGA, which is crazy because of the defensive awards. That's how good that guy is. SGA starts getting defensive awards, right? Then we might be having a real conversation.
Houston might have a problem.
That's how good he is. He's just smooth. Like he just gets to his spots. Like he might not be the fastest guy, but he just gets to where he wants to get to. Some guys are great at just getting to where they want to get to consistently. Like he slows you down to speed you up. Like he's good. He's good, man. He's so good.
Not a better transition than that. Not a better transition than that. I want a new guy at 3, and I don't give a shit if it's a reach. I'm good. I want Trey Johnson.
Me too. Come on in, Luke.
All day. I mean, I'll preface it by saying I'm cool with Ace still, and I'm cool with VJ and the whole thing. But like, it comes to a point where you just look at the logistics of the whole thing. Guy can score at the highest level amongst by far the best competition. And whether you thought he should have been in the tournament or not, it's a miracle that they were even considered to get there in the first place because of how bad their team was. Like, that guy is just a stud. And it is a good fit? No, it's not. But I just don't get these people that want to make a decision based off of guys like Jared McCain. I love what Jared McCain did, and it's really exciting. But you're not going to make a decision with the 3rd pick on the draft because you have Jared McCain.
You can't.
Let's get everything.
You can't.
Yeah, absolutely not. And that's not disrespecting Jared McCain, but Jared McCain can figure it out. When you have the 3rd pick in the draft, you want to pick the best.
Well, that's your coach's job to figure it out.
Why did I shifted a couple of weeks ago, right? To the Trey Johnson train because I looked at okay, who gives me an automatic skill set that's left that translates yesterday? Who gives it to me? He does because he's a scorer. Like natural scorers are going to be scorers at the next level, usually, right? We don't know all the rest about them, but natural scorers, especially a young guy like him, who can just fill it up, can create his own shot, can score off other guys as well. because he can spot up, shoot it too. I mean, he's the most complete scorer, I said, in this draft. Overall complete scorer, it's him. There's other guys that are better. Cooper, Dylan Harper, you can make cases for, but overall best scorer, it's him. So when I look about what I need, listen, it is a perfect fit because I don't know what 21's giving me, and I don't know what Paul George will ever give me. So when you want to talk about fit, welcome in, because I need scoring to go alongside Tyrese Maxey. This isn't me looking at this year. This isn't me looking at next year. This is me looking over a 5-10 year period on what I need, and I need a scorer to go along with my guard who can score. And if I got guys at the perimeter, I can fill it up. What's Oklahoma City doing? Right? Like, I need guys in the perimeter who can fill it, can shoot the three, can get to the basket at will. I'll have two guards who can get to the bucket when they want to. That's fun. That's a good time. Great time. And if Embiid ends up being healthy, then we're awesome. Okay? Next year. Grant J. Johnson, we're awesome next year. If I said it again, they're not going to be healthy. But if either one of those two is healthy and you had Trey Johnson who can score like this, we're going to be really good next year. That's where you can start selling me on like Maxey, Trey Johnson, and McCain and saying, you know what, we can be really competitive. And if those guys give us anything, great. But we can still compete. We're not getting the 1 seed. Right?
And he also, Trey Johnson. Right? Yeah, absolutely. Trey Johnson has
5-6 with that.
Maybe, right? I'll give you
I think you could definitely be 5 or 6 with that.
You still need Oubre, right? You still have good players here. So
in the West, you're cooked, but in the East, I think you could be a 5 or 6.
Lottery with no pick. Right? That's why I don't want the lottery next year. I want to win games. Yeah. And I think the Sixers do too. Right? The Sixers, like I said, they're halfway in, halfway out, which is an awesome thing to be at, weirdly, in the NBA, because nobody is. Nobody has the luxury. San Antonio, sort of, but they're young. You know what I mean? They're building something. They're not they don't have max guys all over their roster.
Yeah.
We're the only one. Well, when somebody got a freebie that has max guys on the roster, and that's Dallas. But us and Dallas are in like a weird spot.
Yeah, like guys, neither of them were supposed to be in the lottery, and you go get gifted. Like top 3 draft picks.
3 max guys. You got 3 max guys on the roster. 3 max guys. It's like, yeah, here's a 3, because that proves.
Here's number 1. Here's number 3.
This is
the NBA's like, rigged. Look at the markets. Yeah. God damn it. Look at the markets.
Yeah.
Dallas, San Antonio, Philly. Oh, over Charlotte, Washington, and whoever the fuck else. It doesn't matter. Come on. This is easy.
Utah.
Open your eyes.
Nate, you're just trying to piss me off, dude.
Oh my God, knock it off. We're comparing baseball to basketball now, Nate. Come on, babe. Tell me you know baseball. Tell me you know baseball now, Nate. If you're going to compare basketball to baseball, you can't compare it. We see that. We see Cinderella runs all the time in goddamn baseball. You don't see them as frequently in the NBA. Come on, Nate.
No.
Come on.
The most Cinderella was what? Golden State beating
Miami a few years back.
Or no, was it Golden State? No, it wasn't. It was Dallas. Dallas.
Dallas
right.
Beat Miami. Yeah,
Dallas. Yeah,
and then Miami getting to the
Golden
finals.
State had a round one upset where they beat the number 1 seed that one year.
Yeah. Trey Johnson also has a 6'10" wingspan. So, I think when you look at everyone at 3, outside of Harper and Coop, obviously, everyone else has their own question. And I think the obvious question with Trey is his defense. I think having a 6'10" wingspan and just being the athlete that he is, that's his development trait. That's what you have to bet on, when you draft a guy like that. But you have to bet on a bunch of other characteristics of all these other guys too.
Luke,
I look at that, and he has the body for it. And you could think he's a workaholic. That's all you hear. The guy's just going to work on his body.
Yeah.
And the question, same with Tyrese Maxey going into it. The question with him was going to be can he hang defensively on the court? Because what you saw in college was he could fill it up at Kentucky. So I feel like he's going to fill it up in the league. It's kind of a similar thing with Trey. he's falling because everyone just has all these doubts with him defensively. But you're going to have to develop something. Like, no one's perfect right now. So it's really just your preference.
I love that you're on this side now because it just makes it known that this is the pick, right? When I get you to come over, right, and you do a little bit more homework on it, right, and we get out of the names that we were all thinking about, rightfully so, and we start looking a little deeper in a deep draft, and we start to see things that are sort of no-brainers here. Like I would love to pick. That's a home run pick. That's a fire me up.
Devil's advocate, though.
I love fucking scores. There ain't no devil's advocate.
There is. Devil's advocate is position. Devil's advocate is I don't want to pay Trey Johnson what you paid a number 3 pick long term. Devil's advocate is, and again, it might not be the Sixers thing, but I think the number 3 pick is Ace Bailey. If you want VJ, if you want Trey, which I'm not saying that's not an option, right? Trey is really, really good. What you guys have all talked about is absolute truth.
The pick. Okay.
True. Drop the 4 or 5, Trey Johnson to steal that.
Okay.
That's like the perfect draft. It's like a dream scenario is that.
Yeah, of course you do, right? But let's talk about people wanting to fleece people and get something over on somebody. So you're playing Russian roulette with that, though, because now you got to hope somebody isn't going up for him.
Sure,
you don't know that,
but I think all of us and the Sixers, I think, would probably be in the same spot. You realistically would be okay with any of those 3.
Yeah.
When you talk about Ace, VJ, or Trey.
I'm good. I'm good with either.
So if you drop the 5 because you're kind of in that, everyone's going to have their preference, right? Tom, you're right. You prefer Trey. Luke, you prefer Trey. Last week it was VJ, right? And it's going to fluctuate for the next month or the next 3 weeks. But I think if you sit there and you're like, I can't really miss with either of these guys, especially at 5, right? At 5, I can't miss.
I don't think you can. I think it's scary to say that, though, Greg.
It might be
like if you're like, I think you would probably fail in the lottery all the time then, because if you're thinking that 3 guys are can't misses, I don't know if that's ever the case. Right now, we're expecting 5 guys in the first. I'm
not saying can't miss. I'm just saying could fit my system. Right? Could fit me as a team.
We don't have a goddamn system.
Touche.
Or fits right now. We don't even know who the hell's going to be healthy. Who's going to play more than 3
I'm
games.
with you there.
I'm right with you on it. Usually, all things equal, Greg. Right? I'm with you on this one. I can't be with you on trading the pick and worrying about where the guy really is slotted to go. If I believe that this is the 3rd best player in the draft, then I draft him where I draft him.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if I believe it, I'm not going to trade out and then pray that somebody doesn't jump over somebody else or something doesn't happen ahead of me. It's just it's slippery, because then you're gonna come out and say, well, this is the guy we wanted the whole time. If it's somebody else, I don't like that, because that obviously wasn't the guy you would want the whole time. Yeah. And you're hoping you can get something back and have your cake and eat it too. We are not in the position to try to be cake and eating it too. Right? We're just not there. We haven't done enough good things organizationally to try to get more back, which I would love. I do. Both of you guys are right with that stuff. Like, get stuff back, fall back a little bit. If I believe he's that good, I'm not taking any chances.
But what we also see, though, in the NBA, right, is these picks are picked and then traded. It's not like the NFL where, like, you trade them before you
that
draft.
Ace Bailey picture is going to be around for a long time.
Right? Like that Ace Bailey with the Sixers jersey.
That is some bad potential. That is some
redeemed yourself.
Yes.
That is some bad juju, no doubt about it.
Because I'll go to 4 for somebody wanting to get to 3. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, I'll go one back and make the pick for him.
No, like what I think ends up happening is one of Utah or Charlotte's really going to want Ace Bailey because of the potential that he has. And then they're going to want him. And then they're, maybe they get into some sort of bidding war. And then you get what you want, or you get something extra. And then if you move back to 4, if you move back to 5, not to say you'd be complacent with whoever's left, but if you like all 3 of those guys, people are probably just going to gravitate generally towards the Ace Bailey. At least those teams who
If you
don't
make the
have
pick for him, it's a
as
mute point.
much. Yeah,
If you make
exactly.
the
Like
pick for him, yeah, then it's already
Like-
taken. So you
well,
don't have to
so-
worry about somebody coming up like that person tricking you. Like that's the whole point. Like you just don't want to be tricked. So as long as you're not tricked, then you can. I would say I want an unprotected pick next year. That's what I want. From
Yeah,
these teams.
I'm with you, but like, let's say you got the pick, and then if it in a perfect world, let's say you trade down to 5 with Utah, so you're getting one of those 3 guys. If you told me we walked away with the draft with an unprotected pick from Utah or a protected pick or whatever it may be, and one of those 3 players, I am ecstatic. Like I'm feeling real good. Because that pick is insanely valuable. And again, we're just spewing. But there has been rumors recently that there is a team, specifically a Western Conference team, that is in love with Ace Bailey. And that kind of makes you think it's either at 5 with Utah or at 7 with New Orleans. Now, obviously, 5 is a whole lot more ideal than 7. I don't even know if I'm really trying to do all the way down to 7 because then you're
If I
talking
go
like
to 7. I want 2 unprotected picks.
Well,
then you're
this-
talking
yeah.
like Queen and Fears.
I don't want that.
It's
not
a
exciting.
different conversation.
Yeah, take
Yeah,
me to
Maybe
5.
Khan if you're
Yakachunas.
lucky.
Yakachunas.
Khan if you're lucky could fall.
Take us to 5. Right, you can go to 5 and get the end if you can get only if it's an unprotected pick next year. That's
If
how
that's
I
the
look at it.
team. Yeah, if
Yeah,
that's the
because,
team
like,
that wants him.
What happens if Ace Bailey's a stud, Luke? Right, and you miss on it because you trade the
Yeah.
pick out. Fine, okay. Then I want the unprotected pick to back myself up on that because he's not going to be a stud next year like that. That's going to carry them, so they're still going to be bad, right? Still going to be bad, and here we are next year with an unprotected pick that could land anywhere from probably 1 to 5 again.
Mhm.
It would probably be protected to some point because I think when Luca was traded from 3 to 5 or 3 to 6, like for Trae Young, I'm pretty sure it was like a protected pick. So you're probably going to get it protected on that. But it's fine because it'll just keep going down and down and down. The protection will get looser and looser. Like next year, our pick is top 4 protected. So we're probably not going to get it unless we suck again.
Suck again. I mean, if you could get like maybe like a top 5 protected pick next year, I'd do that absolutely because they're going to be in the lottery.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would do that. And then if it goes to top 5, then in 2027 it would be top 3, and then it would be
I'm cool with
unprotected
that.
in 2028. Like at some point you get it.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with that.
We shall
TZ
see.
says you only trade the pick if you're going all in next year.
No, we're not talking about trading the pick entirely or
No,
trading
you
back to,
trade down.
7. You trade down to
You're
one of the
trading
other
2 or
spots
4
to take somebody.
spots.
Yeah, I wouldn't go 4, but I'd trade down to 5 if we needed to.
Yeah, I agree. But then the conversation with New Orleans is like you can get a player like Trey Murphy who's just
Herb Jones.
perfect for what the Sixers would need right now. But I don't know if I'm trying to do that. Because 3 to 7 is pretty significant.
Yeah, there's a drop off in talent there for sure.
You're gonna get a ton of people like Trey Johnson can't play with Tyrese Maxey. It's BS on both sides. Trey Johnson was forced to play on the ball all season long, and he carried them to a tournament appearance. He's such a good shooter. Like I can't wait for him to like benefit from NBA spacing and be able to breathe and be able to play with someone like Tyrese Maxey. And on the other side, what was the best year, like stylistically, of Tyrese Maxey's career was when he played with a ball handler, with James Harden.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're willing to take that pressure off of him, that's great. And I know you want to say Jared McCain. Jared McCain's the same way. He's like a Deuce McBride right now. He doesn't want the ball in his hands. He's like throughout the entire game. In a perfect world, he's like a great 6-man, Jared McCain. Doesn't mean he can't develop to more, but
Yeah,
Which
I
you
love
would-
him. He was really good last year, and like a small sample size. 'Cause obviously, he ended up getting hurt. I would have liked to see him all year and see what they could do together. But I think he's realistically, probably your backup, one of your backup guards can be one of those energy guys off the bench. I don't know how he's going to be, for his entire career if he's a starter.
He could be a 6-man of the year candidate, borderline every year of his career, if they go Trey Johnson route.
I just hope they're listening.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a perfect. I don't know if it's a perfect comp, but like he could be Sean Livingston, what he was for the Warriors. Like he was really good over there, coming off the bench all the time. But I don't know if it's a perfect. I think Livingston was bigger and probably a little bit better defender, but something similar to that. Maybe a better version or a more ball handling version of Lou Williams. I don't know.
Lou.
Yeah.
Luke, this is what you were just talking about, right? You said we were going to trade back to 7, but Murphy or Herb Jones is included somehow.
I'm not really dying to do it, but if they did it, I could buy myself into it. But I think I'm good. Just because at 7, you have to pray that Khan falls, and even that is not like the perfect choice. I'm a fan, but not the perfect choice. And then if he's not there, which he probably won't be, then you get Fears, Derek Queen, the guard from Illinois. Like,
Junis.
I'm good.
It's funny early on in the process, he was like a top 10 pick.
Yeah, I know.
Early on in
Him
in the
Denman at BYU.
Yeah.
I've been seeing some stuff about. I know we've all seen it. Malawach being linked to us.
Yep, I saw that the other day.
Doesn't make a sense at all to me, just from like a personnel standpoint. Like, how is that guy going to develop on our team? But if you're talking a world where Embiid somehow off the team, that becomes for sure a conversation to me. Like, he's incredibly talented, and he's similar to Embiid out of college, where it's like he's only been playing the game for a few years.
Yeah,
and he's already can shoot the ball. He's a mammoth of a man. Like, he is massive.
Yeah, the clips of him stroking it at the combine. Where
he's a very, very intriguing pro. If you're telling me Embiid's off the team, I would consider picking him at 3. But until that happens, I'm definitely good.
It'd be very funny for the Sixers in a league where the two teams that made the finals, who are just running up and down the floor, draft another big guy, and just
I can already see Morey going back and being like, now it doesn't matter if Embiid doesn't play. We have the best backup in the league. And you already know how that's going to end.
I've seen that 3 times. I've seen it 3 times.
Yeah, we already know how that's going to end.
God damn it.
What are we, 3 weeks out?
Yep,
3 weeks. Draft?
Something like that.
On the dot.
Yeah, 20 days, 20 hours, and 39 minutes. According to Tankathon.
Still 3-3 in overtime.
Yep, 6 minutes in. Who scores the goal?
Verhaeghe.
Who's he play for?
It's got to be McJesus.
Yeah.
That's Florida. I want Florida to win. I'm all in on Florida.
Oh yeah, you're in Florida. They're in like Fort Lauderdale though, right? The Panthers.
Yeah, they're down. They're down south. Yeah, outside.
They're near my parents. Yeah.
Yeah. But I just love the fact that Canada hasn't won a Stanley Cup in so long. I just want to keep that going. Just keep that going at all costs.
Yeah, that was funny. I remember I saw something like, again, I'm not the biggest hockey guy, but I saw something where it's like Toronto's lost game 7s in like 10 straight series or something, which is just absurd.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Oh, let's go there.
Yeah, they're not pretty good in game 7s.
Yeah.
They're not very good.
They're on like a Flyers like run, right? Where they haven't won a cup in forever. Too?
Sure. Yeah. I don't know the exact number, but because they keep building these super teams, and as we know with super teams is there's very little continuity with them, So when the tough gets going, like it does usually in hockey playoffs, you got a whole bunch of rats running around as opposed to a bunch of dudes that got each other's backs, right?
Yeah.
I remember
It's why Austin Matthews missed that goal in the Four Nations Cup. Because he's
hopefully Daryl Moore is watching the Stanley Cup.
That's why he missed it.
You make teams. Oh, he smacked the ref.
Smacked the ref?
Well, he got hit with a puck. He's like in the way.
So they say, like, well, oh my God, I'm missing it.
I might be ahead of you, or I don't know.
No, I don't have it on. I'm just watching the score on ESPN.
Oh yeah, no. There was a breakaway. The Edmonton guy almost had it. Goal. Bob saved it. Yeah, shout out former Philadelphia Flyer.
Yeah,
Sergei Bobrovsky's
figure
an
that
absolute stud.
Figure that one out.
For
And we're still paying.
Even I know about that.
And we're still paying. I think we are at least. Brizgalov.
Are we really?
Something like that.
Yeah, he was on the team like 10 years ago.
That's how bad the trade was.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, what a joke.
All right, what else we got?
Kapanen hit the post on that breakaway. That's probably what you were just watching.
Yeah.
He said Maxi already got paid, so I guess you're forced to push Maxi as a superstar.
I don't think you.
Yeah, who else is it going to be?
Like he's going to be.
He's by default.
He's as close as what we have right now.
It's the only thing we got.
The only thing you can count on, really.
Yeah.
I love this.
SJM's a big nipple guy now. I like it. I'm cool with it. Not a 3, but I like it.
Okay.
I mean, it goes back to that Howie Roseman mentality of like, all right, let's get the best guys, the best schools. Obviously, way different in basketball.
Yeah.
But
you can go be.
I mean, he was the second best, wing player, I guess you could say, on that team. But he was the second best player on that team. Yeah. Malawach was crazy dominant, but that's kind of different.
But I also feel like Malawach came on late though too, right? Like Knipple was there like all year, and then Malawach came on.
Malawach was just too big to not be good in college basketball.
True.
So Khan is a much better, he's not as raw of a prospect. He'll have a good, I have confidence that he's going to be able to, no matter what team he steps on the court with next year, he's going to be able to contribute at some form. The question is going to be, how much better can he get? Is there more to his game?
You're paying half the contract, which is good, but it has 4 years left. You're paying it for 8. Ooh. So yeah, we're still paying Brizgalov.
Jesus Christ.
That's the downside of buyouts. Thankfully, it doesn't count on the cap. SCS said both Luke and Wilson have opened my eyes, admittedly up to the Nipplemeister. And I think the interesting thing with Khan too is, he played with Cooper and then Malawach, right? So it's tough to truly see how potentially good he is because he was second fiddle the whole year, right?
And he played with the 2 guards, so it's everyone just assumes that he's
and whoever
Smith.
The other guy. Yeah, Smith.
Everyone just assumes that he's not going to be able to handle the ball. I'm not saying he could be a point guard. I'm obviously not saying that. But there's no reason to think he can't be a secondary ball handler if you were playing next to a guy like Tyrese. He's not bringing the ball up the court, but he can create his own shot. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not comparing the 2 players, but Devin Booker had the same questions out of college too. He came off the bench and he played with all those guys, and everyone just thought of him as an off-ball shooter, whatever, and he just clearly was not. He always had that bottled up. I'm not saying Khan is Devin Booker. I'm just saying it's people just assume he can't do something. And as Jalen says it, just because we don't do it doesn't mean we can't do it.
Yeah. Shout out Jalen, man. Love that guy.
Shout out Jalen.
Phillies
You
lost a
guys
tough
have
one
seen,
tonight. Oh, sorry.
They did.
What you got?
Yeah. No, you're good. I was gonna say, you guys been seeing Saquon making the rounds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making the rounds, different stuff. I think
That poor
what do
guy
you-
is immortalized now on the
Yeah.
Madden cover, right? Like
Yeah,
the
we're
highlight being
screwed.
out there was bad alone,
it's tough enough.
but now
dude,
now
like
that the defensive back,
Oh, I thought you were saying him getting the Madden cover. I'm worried about the curse
Oh,
now. Like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
all in
Well,
on the
no,
curse.
Saquon's cursed anyway, Luke. Right? Like
Was it the Franklin curse?
well,
One
no,
of
just
those?
like he was always cursed with his injuries in the NFL anyway. Right?
Yeah,
Like we
I
just
know.
happen
But
to get the
now
best version of him.
I know, but
Okay,
now
there's-
he might
there's
go
gonna
back to
be-
his old self.
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be a drop off this year. It's going to happen, right? But is the drop off 800 yards or is the drop off 1,300 yards? What's the drop off? Obviously, he's not going for 2,000 again. But like, I think
He could.
I mean, yeah, he could behind that offensive line and everything going on, and yes, he could. But like,
that'd be insane.
I think that I saw yesterday. I think his 1,500 was the number that was like even money, and even that's I'm like, like, could he? Yeah, like, that's kind of crazy.
If he stays healthy, that's a lock. If he stays healthy, it's a lock.
Yeah, with the way this offense runs.
He would have to play all set like 17 or 16 again.
Yeah.
To get that, but if he does, he'll get it. I mean, sometimes I just go back, and this is like how bad the Giants are, just organizationally. Saquon was, and Greg can attest to this too, the most impressive college football player like I've ever laid eyes on. Just the stuff that he would do on the field was unreal. And like to see him like now on the, it's just crazy. But he's ridiculous. Like he was always meant to put up video game numbers in the NFL.
Yep.
He was always capable of doing that.
Yep. Yeah, I remember watching him because I was in college the same time he was, and I was watching him just tear it up at Penn State. I'm just like, oh my god, this guy's incredible. Him and Trace McSorley throw it on a dime, baby. Let's go.
Oh my god! And we don't got to talk about all the NFL players that were on that team. They didn't even make the playoffs. We don't got to talk about it. Mike Gesicki, Chris Godwin. We can go on and on, and on and on and
Chris
on.
Godwin would have been on. Chris Godwin was going insane last year. I absolutely killed one of my fantasy draft auctions when I had like a bunch of good guys. I had Rashee Rice, I had Chris Godwin. They were going nuts to start the year, and they all got hurt. I was pissed.
That's the worst.
I was so pissed. I smoked it, but whatever.
That's the worst. You're right. Did you hit on those gems, right?
I hit on both of them. I hit on both of them. They're 1 and 2 in yards for like the first like 4 weeks of the season. I'm like 4-0, absolutely cooking, and then they both get hurt. Like fuck.
Oh no.
Yeah, no.
Makes you want to like quit fantasy, right? Like
it was the worst because I was absolutely cooking. I had Joe Burrow. I was absolutely going insane. And I ended up missing the playoffs. I was pissed.
Actually, as Mad Curse has been defeated, Megatron, Brady, Breeze, Mahomes. Speaking of Megatron, did you guys see Cam Scattaboo trying to name players and he couldn't recognize any of them, and Megatron's one of them?
Oh my god, dude,
that's insane. He's a dog, though.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's going to be really, really good. I've seen videos of that of like, on like TikTok and stuff of like 12 to 15-year-old baseball players seeing pictures like
that's
Manny,
the other one.
like Manny Ramirez, and like, who's that? I'm like, what do you mean, who's that? How old am I? Oh my god.
That you guys should do that at the facility. Just start walking around.
We should do that.
We should do that.
I do that with bands a lot. With like, hey, like music will come on, like, know who this is? Like, I have no idea, and it's like Aerosmith. I'm like, oh my god. I had one of my kids yesterday being able to, one of my kids yesterday, he's like 8, and he was doing Eminem lyrics. I'm like, how the hell do you know this song? He's like, one of my friends has it as their walk-up song. I'm like, oh my god,
as their walk-up song.
Yeah, like it was like Lose Yourself. I'm like, that's great, dude. I love that. Good for you.
Just don't listen to the actual lyrics.
Yeah, no, don't. We have the clean versions. I'm like, all right, okay. Don't actually pay attention to that.
We have the clean version. You guys should know. You should walk around, put like CC Sabathia.
Yeah.
Be like, who's this guy?
Legend.
Pat Burrell.
Pat Burrell. Jeff Jenkins. Geoff.
Geoff, yeah.
Geoff.
See who else. God.
You put Vlad Senior. Nobody would get that one.
No way. Yasiel Puig, maybe.
That's a good one.
Matt Kemp. Nobody knows who Matt Kemp is.
Vernon Wells. You might as well put them together.
Yeah.
I always go back to those two. Everyone's like, oh, so and so's untradeable, and I'm like, Vernon Wells and Matt Kemp just got dealt year after year after year at the end of their careers. Like, if those guys can be dealt, anybody can be dealt.
Anybody can get traded. Anybody at all. But yeah. No, let's segue baseball. Yeah, no, tough loss for the Phils today.
Yeah. Mick looked really good though. I feel really bad for Mick because he
what's the stat?
As Daly was just saying, Mick Abel looked good again. He did. He got the raw end of the start too.
Mm-hmm.
Sixth inning, Phillies had bases loaded, one out, top of the order up. Pops up to the infield, and then Turner strikes out. We get no runs, and then the Blue Jays come back and score a run on Mick. Kirkring comes in with a man on third base. I had zero confidence in Kirkring. I'm sitting here thinking Mick Abel's going to get the loss now, right? Because Kirkring's going to give up a hit and let Bichette score from third. Brandon Marsh has got to catch that. I know it's a tough catch, but he's got to catch that ball. He's a major league center fielder, or wants to be a major league center fielder.
Yeah, I think I'm about done with both him and Rojas at this point.
I have more patience for Rojas just because the expectation offensively wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over Marsh. I am. And the or at least the pushing of Marsh, right? If it's just going to be a platoon, then fine, it is what it is. But like the fact that or the push to continue to try to be an everyday guy, he's just not.
Yeah, and even the platoon, like I get, you're gonna do lefty righty matchups, that's fine. But like you're gonna have Marsh playing 5 out of 7 days because there's just more righties. That's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And maybe you switch stuff out later in the game, but like
which they did today, which I thought was weird.
But like, do I really want Johan Rojas pinch hitting against a bullpen guy in the 8th inning? No, not really.
So what they did tonight was Kepler hit for Marsh, and then Rojas went in to play defense.
Yeah.
Obviously didn't work out, right? Kepler didn't get on base and obviously didn't get a hit. Wilson pinched hit too. Like the Romano blowing it doesn't even shock me anymore.
That was a guarantee, especially after Hoffman got out of it in the 9th.
Yeah.
It was an absolute guarantee. Hoffman was. He obviously didn't he didn't get a blow and save, but it's a loss. It was a guarantee.
Yeah.
Like Vlad Guerrero getting a stolen base, his first one of the year, strictly off of him.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude.
But hopefully JT's okay because my man took one right to the Nuggets.
Yeah, hopefully he's all right. I mean, he probably wasn't
the nugget piece. Anyway.
Oh, straight to the Nuggets.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Never seen the guy like flailing on the ground as bad as he was.
No,
he scored the inning after we didn't get the runner in.
So we bases loaded, get nothing.
Well,
Abel comes out.
Bases loaded, one out. Bases loaded,
one out. Base loaded, one out. Stop. Popped up to the infield. Turner struck out.
Yep, game over. I can tell you when you walk in the dugout or run back out to the field, like when you guys are running back out to the field, I can tell you, I promise you they're getting one.
Yep.
They guarantee it. Write it down somewhere. It's the easiest thing in baseball.
And the annoying thing with the Jays part of the inning is Painter threw strike one to Bichette. He gives up the hit to Jimenez. He threw strike one to Bichette, but they didn't call it.
Abel.
What did I say?
Painter.
I say Painter.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, right.
July.
Abel looked awesome. And he threw strike one, but the ref didn't give it. The ump didn't give it to him.
Wow.
It was clearly in the box.
First time baseball guy.
Yeah, first time.
I think you know a guy.
Yeah, gatekeeper.
His rep.
Gatekeeper's going to be coming out to get me.
Oh my goodness gracious! I think I just did.
You did?
Look, I did. I was the gatekeeper. I didn't want to be. I don't want to be the gatekeeper.
You murdered me. No, but then
fun stat, though.
Then it was 3-0 and Bichette hit a triple because Marsh didn't catch it.
Yeah, okay.
So that was the run. Yeah. Thankfully, Kirkring left it at 1-1, but that was it.
Yeah. Fun stat, though. Mick Abel is the first pitcher in at least the last 125 seasons with 5+ innings of no walks and 1 or 0 runs allowed in each of his first 2 starts.
He was 2 innings, which would have been the 6. So he would have been at 12. I think he actually would have tied the record tonight had he gotten out of that 6th inning with the most scoreless innings to start a career in his Phillies.
Yeah,
scoreless innings.
Years.
That's what it's a Twitter thing that I saw, but I don't know. I didn't fact check it, but I'm gonna.
He tied and passed. Yeah, because he got through the 5th, so he had 11. Cole Hamels was the last one to do it at 10. Cole Hamels started his career with 10 scoreless innings.
Good company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he looked in control again. He looked composed. He didn't look like he was overmatched. Had some balls hit really hard, but they were thankfully early in the game right at people. And yeah, I thought he looked really good again, which is obviously really
important.
Thank you.
Gotcha.
And encouraging too. And encouraging because Mick Abel is going to be that one guy. He's either going to help us here on the team, or he's that trade piece, right? Yeah. He's that prize in that one deal to go get Jarren Duran and Aroldis Chapman, right?
which is massive. Like we talked about this like before the show started a little bit, but like he was nowhere. Like he was a big prospect that we've been talking about for the last few years, and he was nowhere the last 2 years. And he's, he was having like concerns of like being able to throw strikes, walking guys.
Yep.
He hasn't walked anybody in his 2 starts.
He's
been great. Like obviously he's given up some hits. He's having some hard hit balls, but like he's given up 1 run. He outpitched Paul Skeens in his first outing. He pitched really well on the road.
They went toe to toe with Barrios today.
Yeah, again, like he's got some cojones, man. Like obviously he was a solid prospect, and you're expecting something out of him. But now you have options. You can either, move Taijuan Walker to the bullpen again in order to get this guy up, right? And Nola had a setback today, I think. So he's going to get at least 1 more start, right? And he's not going to go anywhere at this point. He's going to be up here, right? He's going to be up here. So you're either trading him at the deadline for something, or he's going to be here and you're going to move somebody else to the bullpen, whatever it's going to end up being.
Yeah,
right?
well, I think it's hard for him not to be here if he keeps this up because
absolutely,
how do you go trading that either? Right, you don't want to be the one to trade a possible ace down the road or a big time arm in your rotation that's under team control. Not necessarily a thing you want to go out looking to deal, in my opinion. Right, like
but if the one guy's untouchable, right? Like if Painter's not going anywhere.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be nice to have both?
Oh,
yeah, but where's the room?
4 or 5.
Well, you already have Wheeler, Nola, Sanchez.
4 or 5.
Ranger's a free agent at the end of the year.
Pretty fun.
You can trade Ranger.
I think he's another one being dealt this deadline as well.
You either trade Ranger, or you end up putting him in the bullpen because he's got that bullpen experience.
Why was I thinking there was another guy?
You're probably thinking of Walker because he got pushed out.
Maybe I was, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, there's your 4 or 5.
No, I mean, if that's I'm with you there.
That's fine.
I would prefer that.
That's a good time.
If you're going
115 wins,
100%. If you're going, you go Wheeler, Sanchez, Luzardo, Nola.
Luzardo, that's the other guy.
Luzardo.
So you already have 4. That's it. I knew there was another guy.
Yeah,
he's got cornrows now. Do you guys see that?
God forbid, God forbid, one guy has a bad start for the first time all year, and you forget about him.
Everybody forgets about him.
Okay. So I mean, you do run into that, but I think it's good when you talk about young guys, and they can still wait on Painter if they want to. If Abel is delicious, they can let Painter grow a little bit more, right? And give him more time, just coming off the injury. Keep his pitches down, just get him out there, continue to rev him up, right? And hypothetically.
Yeah.
And then you have it. And then if one of these guys, God forbid, goes down for a significant amount of time or any time at all, guess who your first call up is next year, right? And then you go that way, right? So I think it's hard for him not to be on the team next year.
I find it, I think He's going to be on the team at some point this year in some capacity.
Yeah.
He'll
So,
be
I
up.
mean, even if he's coming out of your bullpen for a 2-year period, right? Like even if that's the case, right? And then you put him into a starter at some point when Wheeler's done, if he ever is done, or when Noah's done, right? If Noah starts wearing down, or if Wheeler starts wearing down, I like to have the insurance policy,
Sure.
to know that, hey, I can be damn good right after this. I think when you start trading guys that prove it, it's hard, right? You know, when you start trading guys that want to prove it, or on prove it deals, or sorry, that have proved it, it's hard to do. It's hard to do. But guys who haven't, you can try to get some vets back that you think can help you out.
Yeah.
But I don't think you even need to go those routes when you're a top 5 market and you can spend the money too.
Yeah, I mean, look at what the Dodgers are doing. Money
took us a
money
while to
is
get
not-
prospects again. That's all. So
Yeah.
took us a while.
No, you're in such a good spot now with the roster you have. You got guys locked up, right? Obviously, you're gonna have to replace a couple bats or pay some more money out for bats. But like having those 2 guys, Abel and Painter, be staples of your rotation, where you don't have to go out and sign somebody else. When realistically, Rangers not going to re-sign here. They're not going to pay him.
I didn't.
Right?
SJM says he's with Boris now.
Oh, we're definitely not paying him.
I didn't know that.
Way.
So yes, we're not re-signing him, and B, he's not going to the pen.
So if we're not going to trade Abel, you trade Ranger Suarez.
Yeah.
Because if he's not going to go to the bullpen, he's not going to be a team guy. Then all right, cool. We'll see you. We're going to go here, and then maybe you flip him to Boston. You give Boston the ability to sign him, then they can have their 1-2 with Crochet and him, and whatever else they have up there. I know they got Bello, who's solid but still raw, and then Tanner Houck's been awful this year.
It's Duran and Chapman are the two.
So over. So it
are the two that's most likely available. You almost wonder if they're that far out of it when he comes back. Is Bregman available, right, at that point?
Didn't he just sign like a 4-year deal, though?
Yeah, 3-year, 4-year deal. But if they're out of it, you know what I mean?
I feel like they're dragging their because they would think about trading Duran because they're dragging their feet with Roman Anthony.
They want Roman, they want a spot for Roman Anthony.
Yeah, which would be crazy because Duran's like what, 25?
Yeah, he's not very old.
But look, I think he just got a deal too.
28. He's 28.
Is he 28?
Padres right now.
He got out of college. That's right.
Yeah, Padres right now have the most, or are the most vocal interested in him. But I'm sure
I heard that.
People.
Yeah. I heard Hassan talking about that earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
273 today.
They're not worth that.
What?
Those two aren't worth Ranger, Miller, Abel. It's not.
Well, no, like just one of them, right? Like it's. Well, no. If you get Duran,
no, you'd swap Miller with Crawford. If you're getting Duran, you swap Miller with Crawford.
Yeah.
Because Duran's going to be your center fielder for the next 5-6 years.
Yeah, if you can somehow finagle Duran and
or you push him to left and then keep Crawford, but
which I would prefer. But
where are you going to put Trey Turner next year?
Right field.
Trey Turner's going to the outfield.
Right field. I mean, you could probably trade Castellanos this offseason. Not to say that I really want to, because he plays.
This is the offseason. He's
you probably deal him. Yeah.
If you're going that route.
Yeah. Again, it all really depends, because if Crawford, again, we were talking about this earlier too. Crawford may not be your prototypical guy that you're looking for now that goes gap to gap, but he's hit 300 plus every year he's been in the minor leagues, and he's doing it at AAA. He did it at AA. Like, obviously, maybe some of these hits are Texas leaguers, but hits are hits, man. And if he's consistently doing it, and you get him up against major league competition, and you get him in a major league locker room, and you can make some adjustments, maybe get a little bit more pop in the bat. I mean, he's still he's what, your number 3 prospect, right? Maybe your number 2, probably number 3 prospect.
Wow.
3
at Oilers.
No.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, is that
Less than a minute too.
Yeah.
I'm watching it on a streaming device that is broadcasted in sign language. I've never seen anything like this before. This is I don't know what the hell's going on.
That's
You got
amazing.
2 guys in a box, like
My God,
their hands are going
46
nuts.
shots.
Aiden Miller, who's 20, who was obviously brought up to Double-A this year.
Yeah.
After playing last year. Well, last year he got caught up in Double-A. He's batting 246, 5 homers, 6 doubles, 194 plate appearances.
Yeah, he was struggling to
47
start the year. He's been doing better the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I think it's just like that. I think it's as simple as just getting comfortable with better pitchers, because that's where the best arms are. The best arms in Double-A. So he's still probably 2 years away.
Yeah.
Right. He's got to go He's got to go dominate Double-A for a minute, and I think he'll get there. I like the power numbers a little bit for only 45 games. So he showed me he can still hit for some power. Not a ton, but
he's driving the baseball for sure. The highlights you do see of him are him getting on a ball and driving it for sure.
He's got 18 stolen bases too.
Yeah, dude can kick it and run, dude.
Which is nice. 21 walks.
Which is, to me, shocking, right? Because you didn't think he was going to be able to stick at shortstop. You thought he was eventually going to, and he still might at the end of his career, but go to third base most likely, especially when you drafted him. But with wheels like that, if you're still on those types of bases, then he might be able to step.
Yeah. He's made 9 errors.
Not ideal, but our shortstop right now making a whole bunch of errors.
126 chances.
I think he's got 6 or 7. Turner does.
Don't you stick up for him?
No, I think I think he does. I'm not saying he's very good. I just heard it on the radio the other night.
I know. I'm just messing with it. They just happen at the worst time, right?
No, they do. They absolutely
happen at the worst time.
Because he made it. He booted one the other night, and it was a clear cut double play ball. Clear cut double play ball would have ended the inning, and I think the next guy hit a home run or something.
Yeah,
so
that's how it works.
Yeah,
and the one on Sunday would have ended the inning.
Yeah,
with no runs. Instead, we give up 3 more.
I think that was probably it. That was what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And Painter's been.
I still remember something that happened to me like in high school, something similar to that. I still remember it. I'm not going to talk about it, but
like, you don't need the therapy session anymore.
No, we ended up losing the game because of it. So yeah.
I thought Painter got caught up with Double-A.
He's in Triple-A.
He's in Triple-A, right?
He skipped Double-A.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's been awesome too.
Yeah.
He's been nuts.
Walks are the only thing right now.
Yeah. 265.
Yeah.
Batting average against. I mean, whip 1.2. It's good.
Yeah, it'll work.
Yep. I'll play.
According to Topper, it's not till after the All-Star break.
Yeah, they were gonna kind of shut him down or take a break a little bit, or like slow him down a little bit, and then ramp him back up again.
Yeah, bring him out of the pen.
I wish.
Crawford's 21, obviously, which everybody knows. But listen, if you're batting 337, it comes to a point where you've outplayed where you are, regardless of the home run numbers, regardless of the power numbers. He has 11 doubles, so I mean, he's got 3 triples, so 21 bags stolen. At some point, he's only struck out 46 times, 233 plate appearances. Right? It's not bad, in my opinion. It's not bad.
It's just nothing's hard hit.
You bet 330. You bet 337. You bet 337.
And if nothing's hard hit, then what is that going to do in the bigs? Right? When the pitching's better and the defense is better. You know what I mean?
You bet 333 in Double-A too.
I know. And I don't want to poo-poo on his parade, but nothing's hard hit in AAA right now.
But if you hit, you hit.
But that doesn't translate to the majors, though. We know this.
Greg. First off, okay, does it translate for Luis Ariz?
That's what I said earlier.
But Luis Ariz has got a little bit more strength.
Well, everybody's gonna have more.
Not really.
He's gonna have more strength than a 21-year-old, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, but does it translate? Does hitting translate?
It does.
Okay, just like I'm saying, I'm not crowning the guy.
It does.
Like getting on base.
That's my worry. That's my worry, right? You might not have it, right? And that's a different eye, right? That's a different eye. My worry is you bring them up, it doesn't translate because the barrel's not there, and you almost kind of send them into a rut, right? As opposed to letting them find the barrel, keep finding the barrel, drive some more baseballs. I'm not even worried about the homers. I'm not even driving that way, right? But we know from watching it all the time, right? Those gaps and those holes that are in AAA and AA aren't in the major league level at all times.
I hear you.
Give him a torpedo bat. He'll be fine.
Tait is a good prospect.
I mean, he's got 11 doubles and 3 triples, so that's 14 extra base hits.
Yeah.
So it's not like there's nothing, or 15 because he's got a homer. So you still got 15 extra base hits. I mean, some guys, when you talk about old center fielders, when you talk about like center fielders of the past, it's guys you can go.
How many stolen bases does he have?
21.
Leadoff hitter. Let's fucking go. I'm in.
So like,
see, that's where you want to talk about 9-hole hitter. I'm in.
Yeah, well, that's what we're talking about over.
No, I know.
We're talking about next year. We're talking.
And
about
I say
year.
that. Well, next year I'm in 100%.
That's where I'm going with this. I'm not going.
This
right
year
now.
is where I worry.
No,
right?
finish
like,
your season out.
Like, this year is where I worry. Next year, gloves are off. You're in.
Greg, to this point that we're talking about, he needs full years in these spots. Like Redding was fine. He had 40 games. He batted 333. Okay, in AA, it's awesome, right? Awesome. 3 homers, 11 doubles, really good. So give him a full year in AAA here to keep getting adjusted. The more of big league life, right? Because that's all AAA is.
Yeah,
one step closer, more closer to big leaguers. Okay, or guys are getting called down on assignments, different things like that. So you give him the full year, let him put on a little bit more mass.
Then I'm in.
Which will create more barrel. I mean, he's 188. I think ideally you'd like to get a 200, and I think you're in a good spot, and the strength will be there for the contact to play.
Yep, I'm totally on board with you then.
Yeah, that's all. Not this year. There's no
again. He's 21. He's still growing.
Yeah, no, fair, all fair. There's a big push, especially online, to get him up just because of the direct that we're watching every night in Marsh and Rojas. And Kepler and Wilson, right? I mean, it's all online, so it is what it is. But that's my worry, and that's my concern. And it's just him. I could care less about everybody else, right? I love that they brought up Painter, right? All the other guys in the minors, I don't care if you necessarily ruin them. I mean, when you're talking about Rincones, right? If you bring him up for a stint, if someone gets hurt, right? You talk about, I don't want to say the guy's name because then I'll get laughed at, but like Otto Kemp, right? You want to bring him up to fill that Weston Wilson role, which I don't think they would, but I don't care about necessarily ruin those guys. I don't want to ruin Crawford, right? Or Miller for that sense. Like, I don't want to bring them up too early. Like, next year, done deal.
Yeah, there's no need to bring them up. Like, you have what you have for this year. Your team trying to win it, so you let it sit. You let it sit.
There's my buddy Joe. He's all in on Otto. He's done. He's done with everybody.
Isn't he leading AAA in home runs or something?
He is. SAM, I saw Tait, I guess is how you call it. I saw him hit a ball onto the freeway when I went down there for the the Painter State start. Tait came up first inning, put a ball on the freeway. It was disgusting.
That'll play.
How'd they get this guy?
Tait?
No, Otto.
I think he was undrafted. I think he was undrafted.
He just played himself.
And he was like a free agent that played himself into a prospect.
He's an NCAA in like college. He hit.
Yeah.
Then he went to St. Cloud, summer ball, Yeah, so he went to St. Cloud Summer Ball, batted 306, 6 bombs, 4 triples, 16 doubles. So that's fun. And then in 2022, went back for obviously his senior year and raked 364, 17 homers. That's a good time. Point Loma Nazir University, San Diego, California. Okay.
Is that JUCO? What is that?
No, a 4-year school because he was there for 4.
Really?
Yeah, and then Clearwater.
I
don't know. Clearwater. I got no familiarity with lower level schools on the West Coast.
Yeah.
120.
What was it called? Point what?
Point Loma, Loma. Point Loma, Nazarene.
I got it. Yeah, Nazarene.
Yeah,
So Catholic
Nazarene.
school. It's in the Catholic school.
So Clearwater 128 his first year, but he only had 12 games. That doesn't even count. Get to something more like A+ ball. Clearwater 251 the 1 year, and he got up to Lehigh Valley for 13 games, batted 200. Back down to Reading, batted 258. Back down to Clearwater for a few games, batted 500, and then hit in the Arizona Fall League. Well,
that's where he kind of blew up, was there.
And obviously, yeah. I mean, that's where he's at.
He's hitting well right now, yeah.
Figured some things out, obviously, whatever it may be. So that's where he's at.
Yeah, but he was undrafted and just started matching the baseball.
He's got 10 stolen bases, not 20.
Come on, SJM, get it right. But yeah, I think the time for him would have been early in the season. If you're looking at a regular, I just don't see them bringing him up to play a platoon role like Weston Wilson.
I would. I don't need him up.
The time where I was on the Otto Kemp train was early on when Bohm was struggling, and you might have been looking not necessarily to replace Bohm, but just to find a spark, maybe to spark Bohm and see if you get hit lightning in a bottle with this guy, and then you finds a way into a platoon role, right? But they're not going to. Weston, not saying Weston Wilson's good, but that's just the role he's going to play. Is the guy that plays 2 days a week.
Yeah. Point Loma, D2.
Okay.
School. Apparently in a conference with a couple of Hawaii schools. They flew out to Hawaii a couple times. So that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Imagine playing in San Diego and you have to fly to Hawaii for a
You get to
weekend.
go to Hawaii.
Pretty sick.
It's not a bad gig.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, I can make that work.
Oh, you want to give me any money? Yeah, I'm in. Let's go. Any money at all? Perfect.
That was probably before the big NIL money, too.
Yeah.
That was probably before that.
Oh, yeah.
All right, anything else?
22.
Phillies go day game tomorrow.
Who's pitching tomorrow?
I think it's Luzardo.
Is Luzardo? No, he pitched Sunday. Sanchez,
because Wheeler's out right now.
Yeah, I think he's back Thursday.
Did he pop? Did she pop?
Wait, I don't know. Maybe. Let's look.
That's what he's there. Wife's pregnant.
Yeah, I saw.
No, it is Luzardo. It is Luzardo. They have Luzardo listed.
Really?
Yeah. Luzardo pitched Saturday.
Oh, he pitched
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
Yeah. Luzardo versus Bassett Hound at 3:00. Well, let's get back on the series winning streak here, or winning ways, not streak.
Yeah.
No streak.
Yeah, right. It's weird. It's weird not winning the first 2 games of the series. They do it too much.
And then we go
They usually lose the third.
And then we go out to that June series in Pittsburgh like we always do. Kemp or Marshall Rojas are all pretty bad. Got to give Crawford or Kemp a shot before the deadline. Yeah, I disagree, Ethan. They're not coming up. Kemp might. You might find a spot for Kemp, but Crawford's not coming up.
That guy's a little too young. little more season.
Joe's tired of watching the platoon in center. Yeah, I think we all are. Yep.
Correct. Yes.
You just wish like one of them would take the reins, right?
I thought it was going to be Brandon Marsh for like the longest time, and now
too.
I'm out on him now.
I'm the same way. Tommy will tell you, right? Tommy, like give Marsh the at bats. Give Marsh the at bats. Well, yeah, and then you have Ruben Amaro tonight telling everybody, gaslighting everybody that Marsh has got big time power. Huh?
Is the power in the room with us?
Where's the power
I don't
at?
see it.
Who paid you for that comment?
Yeah. Right. Ruben, straight face, you're saying Marsh has got power. Come on, man.
You part of the family?
Wild.
You sitting down
Yeah.
dinner with him?
No. There's a big bounce back start for Luzardo tomorrow.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine. Slightly unrelated. Former Philly Bailey Falter pitching for the Pirates on Friday night.
Yes, he is.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, 314. He's pitching pretty good.
He'll no hit us.
Probably.
Yeah. Write it in.
What
Yeah, they
days are
always-
those? Remember the days where Phillies were banger after banger? Which days?
When?
It's
When
been a
was
long
that?
time.
2004?
You're talking Utley, Rollins, Howard, and
Hamels.
Rollins,
Hamels.
Hamels.
It's like
That
Barrel.
run.
we talking
Barrel.
about the
Barrel.
spring of Dominic Brown. Is that what we're talking about?
Ooh.
Scott
Marsh's
Kingery?
garbage, Gloucester City. Don't bring up the Highland. Wilson might come after you for that SJM. He's probably there right now.
Well, Wilson
I'm
come
right
after
down.
you
I'm
for
right down the street.
Wilson will come after you for any local establishment.
This is true.
So, he's a friend of the establishments.
The Highland is there you go. Joe Savory, what a name.
You guys see how many people are at that Marlins game today?
7?
I mean, it gets to a joke.
Maybe
Yeah,
12.
it's pretty pathetic.
It's
You see,
11 and a half.
they got swept by the Rockies.
Yeah.
They got swept by the Rockies. How is that possible?
there's no way that there was more than 200 people there. No chance. I had to search for people in the crowd.
Yeah, it's pretty
It was
bad.
insane.
crazy.
I'm saying there was 11 and a half people there. You kind of baby. 11 and a half people. It's unbelievable.
The only time they ever get people there is when the Phillies are in town.
Or the,
Yeah,
or
like
the
how
Yankees,
how
yeah.
is that acceptable though? Like as a league, like how do you accept that? That is so far and beyond unacceptable.
And you
And
know
then
what
it's
they'll
like
do?
the Rockies. How could you be a Rockies fan unless you are a baseball junkie out of your mind? What are you like 9-50 or 9-52 or
no.
something?
Now they won 3 straight, so I think they're in double digits now.
Yeah, they got double digits
awesome.
now.
And then what? There's 130 games left. Like
Yep.
that's who's watching those?
No, it's probably 90 games left.
Wait, and what's funny, what the Marlins are going to do too is Marlins at the deadline are going to add payroll, right? Marlins are going to be that team that's going to take on payroll. Like just hypothetically, I wish it would happen. Take on Taiwan Walker and his $20 million or his $18 million, right? They're going to take on payroll so that they get to the salary floor, and then they can take in the revenue sharing throughout the league. So if you're underneath the salary floor, you can't participate in the revenue sharing. So they got to get there, but you don't have to be there all season. You just have to get there by a certain point.
I don't even know they afford a team. I mean, no one goes to the games
I
ever.
know.
It's
It's bad.
embarrassing.
It's so bad.
What's up, Daz? These Marlins have always been like that. Yeah,
Yeah, like
there was no one there even when I went to the Phillies game last year. It was crazy.
someone's got to be like someone in Nashville, right? Some Nashville guy has to be like, hey, let me buy them and just move it to Nashville. It would absolutely kill in Nashville. Or, like Vegas would have been a really good one, but Oakland's doing that.
Yeah.
But
They've got to kill the salary cap immediately. It's a disgrace. The fact that a
There
league
is none.
in
Well, there is-
2025.
there isn't a salary.
Oh no, I meant the other way around. They got to bring it back. I'm sorry. I meant the other way. It's a complete disgrace. The fact that teams can go 20 years without even sniffing a bit of success, and you get one, and then the whole time you just know all you guys are gone anyway, so it doesn't even matter. You better take advantage of it while it lasts. Like, what league runs like that? It's a disgrace, complete
Yeah.
joke.
No, it's
How
insane.
And what's
unless
funny,
you're a
remember-
baseball junkie, like someone like me, like I look at the MLB and I'm like, this is a disgrace. More than half the league can't even be taken seriously because no one even shows up to the games.
yeah. No, I think the MLB
Like-
looks at it that way too. I
I
don't
just
think they
don't.
have the
Then
right guys
how
in
is it?
charge.
And you could
Man, for
change
sure.
the pitch clock, which was massive, like from my viewing point. I thought that definitely helped, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
But that
mine too now.
doesn't take away from the point that there's 150 games left in the season. I'm exaggerating. And then like you have a team
Not
who's
really.
12 and forever. Like that's ridiculous.
They have 12 wins. You're correct. Yes, 12 wins.
Like that's insane.
The White Sox have 19. They're the second worst.
What's funny too, I the last weekend watching the College World Series, I have become a new fan of like the pitch clock and the timing clocks in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, me
Like,
too.
I used to love like those grinds, but now watching like the College World Series and the 700 mound visits, the pitchers after every other batter, the shenanigans that goes on there, I'm like, I'm watching it all, but I'm like, this game is taking 4 or 5 hours long just to go 9 innings. It's not even like an extra innings game.
Yeah.
Like I gotta finally give Rob a little bit of credit here for the pitch clock stuff because that timing, that increase in timing has actually been really beneficial to the game.
But like what it
Yeah, I don't
doesn't
mind it.
stop is Rockies fans, or if you're like a Reds fan, or like a fan of some dog shit team, like that's not going to stop you. Be like, all right, well, the game's shorter now. Now I can watch 160 of these because like that's
Yeah.
insane. Like that's not going to happen.
they have
You
to
got to
have-
change something.
They have to have more of a shared revenue, is my guess.
There's
they
going to be a
have-
massive TV deal in like 2 years.
Yeah, like, I don't know what their share in revenue looks like, right? But I hate a cap in it in a way because that makes it hard. I think like it just makes it weird. The way contracts are, you have 9 play. Like I don't know, you have 9 position players. Then like how does the CBA how does the players union feel about a cap? Right, they're not going to like a cap because now they're not going to get money like they did, and you talk about money deferred. So there's like, on the surface, I like it, right? I like it on the surface to a point, but then I start thinking deeper, and it's like, man, there's a lot of moving parts on probably why this trigger was never pulled. Period. But you have to figure out a way to allow these smaller markets to compete quicker, and I think they tried it by giving the more years control if you bring a guy up, right? They tried to give you a little carrot there, but that doesn't do enough. So what are some other ways? I don't know.
It's also like a national perspective. Paul Skeens has got, his girlfriend is more famous and more popular than he is. Outside of him, if someone's killing it on like the Reds or the Rockies right now, common fan and naturally they have no idea. They don't even know who they are because no one's watching. There's no eyeballs on the game.
Everybody knows who. Like again, Rockies. I agree with you, but the Reds have Ellie De La Cruz. That dude's insane.
Right. Yeah.
And Major League Baseball has done a better job of like marketing these guys a little bit more.
It's still awful.
It's still not. Listen, it's still not good enough. But you have a lot of teams, and I think when you have this many teams too, you run into some really bad ones naturally, right? So I think as a younger audience, I think people need to realize that, right? Like when you have this many teams in this many games, and you're not having a cap, naturally you're going to run into organizations that are just looking to not lose money. So why are you even an owner?
That's the thing. It's the owners, right?
Yeah, like these owners you need to get the right owners in place in these organizations like Miami to draw people there. Like when they were winning, people came right back in the day.
They had, I think it was like 2013, 2014. They had like Stanton, Yelich, Gordon was there, Jose Fernandez. Like they had a really solid core. And all of those guys went somewhere else and were competing in the playoffs. So like,
that team would be the best team in baseball if they stayed together.
Yeah, and
they were so good.
And the problem is with it is they sold tickets then. They weren't not selling anything. People were coming. Now were they selling out? I'm not saying that. But you start winning and you start changing the culture, because winning will get the younger fan to buy into it that's in the baseball, right? And dude, it's not hard, but you need owners that are willing to spend the money to say, listen, let's change the culture in Miami here. Let's go spend some money, right? But that's where Major League Baseball needs to step in and say, all right, how do we help this out? What is our revenue sharing? Because, we need to make it more enticing for a small market guy to want to buy a small market team, right? You got to make it more enticing.
It's tough because, I mean, right now you're going through the rumor mill of the Pirates trading Paul Skeens,
which is just absurd.
Like they can't even keep hold of it. But I think part of it goes back to like we were saying, their owner, right? Their owner doesn't want to spend money. You went into this season with Paul Skeens. I know he got hurt, but Jaron Jones and Mitch Keller. That's a really good top 3 rotation. And you did nothing in the offseason to improve your offense, right? So now the natural thing is, all right, well, they're not going to win anyway. It would really benefit them from an organization to trade probably the most proven best prospect that has come out of the league in the last 10 years, which is insanity. And their best prospect right now is a pitcher in Bubba Chandler. So even if they called him up and went double barrel, they still have zero offense. And they're just going to lose games like they did to Mick Gable, where they lose 1-0, no hitting teams through 8 innings.
Look at some of these places. Like, who wants to play in Pittsburgh?
Same exact thing.
That stadium's gorgeous, though.
I know, but like, who really wants to play in Pittsburgh?
I hear you.
I've been up there. It's okay. Like, I'm not trying to live in Pittsburgh.
Like the stadium's cool. Yeah. The stadium district is cool. I've been there a couple times. Like everything else, like it's all right. It's an okay city.
Like people will play. Like people are going to want to play in Vegas, right? There's going to be obviously people want to play in LA. People want to play in San Diego, right? People obviously don't mind playing in Arizona, right? Like, so it's not a lot of these places guys want to play at. So I think that's part of it too. Like, what kind of fan base do you have?
Yeah.
So these owners need to change the culture by marketing their teams better, right? By actually trying to win games,
And they added to your point, they added the other the playoffs spot, right? To try and keep more teams in it longer.
And it's working.
And it's worked.
So you can't, you're always going to run into your dumpster fires that nobody's at games. You can do the same thing in the NFL 7-8 weeks in.
Yeah.
There's just people, and us as fans are not paying attention to anybody on those teams besides fantasy football. Right. So you run into the same things. I mean, who was watching Browns games? You guys were turning Browns games on last year, right?
On Thursday Night Football.
I know, but I wasn't watching it.
Yeah.
Because like to me, it's like a bad game's a bad game. I don't need football that bad. I got football on Sunday. Like
but more people in the world want football that bad than people want baseball that bad. And what's sad about it is that baseball doesn't even give you the option. There's one game on national television, unless you buy like the MLB Network package. What do you get? Like 1 or 2 games a week?
Well, that's your
maximum, and they're borderline the same teams almost every single week.
If you get the MLB package, you get them all.
I mean, I have TV, but
I'm saying if you don't have that and you're going strictly off of cable television,
well, MLB Network's the best, so you get games.
Yeah, no. I'm just saying how are you going to reach a new demographic of fans who else is buying that? You know what I mean? How are you going to get more people to tune into that?
MLB Network comes with regular cable package.
Yeah, so here I have YouTube TV.
Okay, seriously. But don't you think those games are the same?
MLB Network.
No, because they jump around a lot. They jump around.
Okay.
A lot.
I don't know. I just feel like they do a horrible job.
It's not like Red Zone. It's not like Red Zone, but they still jump around a lot. They take you to different high leverage situations. Like they do a good job of that. But again, I'm not. You can't compare something to something that makes a goddamn
Yeah.
trillion dollars in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother level because it's like it's less games, it's more intense. That's why. But I think baseball does big time ratings when you talk about postseason baseball. So, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Right? You play 162. I think to your point, they need to get more games on. No, they have Fox. They do Fox games of the week. They do the ESPN right now. So I think other networks are going to buy in, just like hockey. Hockey got on TNT. So
we got 48 back again. Sorry.
Yeah. I think it's quicker than that. I've seen Phillies highlights like 2 hours, an hour or two after their games. But yeah,
but
MLB
ESPN,
I've even watched games through Prime.
Really hard.
But ESPN app gives you highlights after every game, like immediately. So it's not like it's not out there.
Yeah,
right?
There's ways to find
And one of the funny thing about like this season, right? Like I don't know, I'm sure you guys heard, like Colorado can't even get the number 1 pick this year.
which is insane.
Colorado can't pick higher than 10th this year. And they're going to be historically one of the worst teams in the history of baseball.
Well, that doesn't matter necessarily.
No, but it's still crazy, though. Like when you're talking about trying to rebuild, you know what I mean? And trying to
I don't think there's anything ever to build there either. It's hard, right, Greg?
I bet you we could go out there and rebuild it.
Like you got to just go hitters. You got to outslug everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
I think we could do it.
You need a closer, right? And you need to rely on like young pitching that's willing to get their fucking tits lit.
Well, I mean, when they were,
and you got to have guys who fly in the outfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your 3 outfield spots got to be like 4.40s.
I used to love. I used to love Cargo, Carlos Gonzalez. I used to love that guy.
Yeah, stud.
I used to love him. He was
hitting balls. Great name drop.
He was hitting balls up into Schwarber territory every night. That dude
every
was
night.
Stud.
Every night he was hitting them on the mountains. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Then like Arenado was there for like those two were there together, and those like they had a couple pieces, but like they never had like a squad. Like the last time they had a squad was 07.
Matt Holliday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they tried a little bit to like go in with Chris Bryant, but it just wasn't the right
He fell off.
Yeah, it wasn't the right guy. And injuries obviously got him. So, if I'm rebuilding them, not that we want to do this, but if I'm rebuilding them, I gotta draft speed in my outfield. I gotta draft a bunch of center fielders, and obviously I want to be able to swing it. So that's what I'm looking for if I'm rebuilding them. Because if I get 3 center fielders and I hit on them, and I can develop 3 center fielders, whatever it is, and I can throw them throughout the outfield. Now your defense is big time up there, which is important because there's a lot of room. It's a big park. There's a lot of room because they had to move the fences back because guys would have 100 homers tonight.
Yeah, moving the fences back, plus like that, even like the deeper parts, like the right field, like where like the where the bullpens are, they have like a 10-foot high like glass wall, like 10, 15-foot high glass wall. Like it's a poke, but again, it's that thinner air. Like the guys can still hit out there. They just don't have anybody out there.
They should just bring it in shorter, honestly, and just go monster at all. Like go 15, 20 foot, glass, so everybody, people can see through it, and you just go glass all the way up.
Do like what I think they did that in Minnesota back in the day, back when they were in like the dome.
They had the plexi all the way up.
Yeah,
right. Like I don't know. I'm just trying to think of ways. I mean, I don't give a shit about that, but nobody cares. I got nothing. I'm done. I'm not hosting.
Troy Tulowitzki. I liked watching Tulo too. That dude was
Tulo was fun.
Tulo was fun.
His career, he battled injuries. That sucks for him. He was really, really good. I think he was on that 07 team. Or was he later? I think he was
Sounds right. Sounds close.
Hard to play there too.
Yeah.
It's freezing half the year.
Yeah.
So The big cat. The big cat Andres
Andres
Galarraga.
Galarraga. Don's loving baseball season right now. Of course he is.
Hey, Don.
What's up, brother? Ooh. Baldo's tough in MLB The Show, too, SJM.
Yeah.
Baldo's good.
Anybody with a decent changeup screws me, but whatever.
Yeah. The splitter and changeup get me all the time. It's like very early. I'm like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
As I'm putting balls over the dugout from the same side.
Yeah.
Vinny Castillo. Oh, what a slugger. What a slugger.
Who
else was out there?
Anything else? Anything else, you guys?
Good. Go Phils.
Home Phils.
Phils.
Is Zach getting traded? He's on the block. I bet you he is. They're in fourth place, I think, in the West.
Yeah, I think they're
Burns just went out. Burns just got hurt. I think with another elbow injury.
Yeah, that sucks for him.
Yeah,
they are 30 and 31, and that sucks for what's his name? I should know this. He's been in my lineup for a month now.
Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, the 92 Corbin Carroll card has been in my lineup for a month.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going insane. He's got like 17 or 18 home runs. But yeah,
Zach Gallen's definitely on the trading block in my fantasy team. That's for sure. He's
my fantasy team
killing me. He's killing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, this week is make me want to quit. I started Bowden Francis last night against the Phillies. Like, sweet, good job.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat Kerry Carpenter. So my week's going wonderful right now.
Good stuff, dude. My team has fallen off a cliff.
Yep.
I'm not even talking about that shit. Yeah, good stuff. June, man. Yes, let's go. We're finally in
Tommy,
summer.
you might have to.
Kinda.
What do you do the outro? Just
It's
hit it
already
once.
built in.
Just hit it.
In. No, it's already built in.
Just when you hit it end stream.
Yeah.
Nice. First timer here. First timer.
No, you're good, babe. Good to have you. You know what I mean?
First timer.
It's nice to have you guys.
Oh, Kerry got hurt. Maybe I don't feel bad. Maybe I don't feel so bad. But I need Jack Caglione then to hit me 3 bombs and at least 5 RBIs over the weekend.
Specimen.
He is. He's a
That
monster.
kid's absolute stud.
Monster.
Him and Bobby Witt are going to be a problem.
He did get a hit his first game, but like all his exit velos were 93 and above, I think.
Well, the first one he hit went to the gap, and dude made an insane catch. I'm like,
Victor Scott came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We could do this all night. Thank you, everybody who jumped in. On your way out, make sure you hit that like button. Ron Elizik, Luke Brown, Tom Arnone. I'm Greg Milakvic. Every Wednesday night, we are brought to you by our doc. Make them yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. We'll see you next week.